After my cousin's wedding, I logged into my bank account and nearly collapsed. Every dollar was gone. My father smirked and said, "We took it for the family." Imagine logging into your bank account after a family wedding, only to find it completely empty. Every penny gone. And then, your own father chuckles on the phone, "We took it for the family. You'll survive." My hands trembled, but I stood tall and said, "Then you won't survive what happens next." They all just laughed until a deafening bang shook the walls, and my front door burst open. Let me tell you a story. A story about how the people who were supposed to protect me, the ones I called family, didn't just steal my life savings. They gutted me from the inside out and then tried to blame me for it. But what they didn't realize was that sometimes being pushed to the absolute brink can forge a fire so fierce it burns everything in its path. For most of my life, family was supposed to be this rock-solid thing, right? Shared meals, unwavering support, that unspoken loyalty you fall back on when the world gets rough. At least that's what I desperately wanted to believe. The truth, though, was way uglier, and I didn't see how deep the rot went until the night after my cousin Claire's wedding. The wedding itself, honestly, it was just fine. Claire, she was always the family's golden child, the one who could do no wrong. Every family gathering was just another opportunity to gush about her grades, her career, her upcoming marriage. Meanwhile, anything I did was just dismissed like it was cute or unrealistic. I'd actually started my own business 2 years prior. It was small, yeah, but it was growing, and I'd poured everything I had into it. But my dad, my uncles, even my grandma, they treated it like a silly little hobby. At the wedding, the favoritism was practically a comedy show. The speeches were overflowing with praise for Claire. But when it came to me, I was just a cousin who showed up. Nobody asked about my work. Nobody cared what I was doing. It stung. Yeah, but I kept my head down, forcing a polite smile, sipping that cheap champagne. I kept telling myself it didn't matter. It's what I always told myself. But the truth is, it did matter. It mattered every single time I caught my dad looking at me with that mix of disappointment and amusement, like I was some underachieving kid instead of a grown man building something from scratch. It mattered when relatives would lean across the table, whispering about how proud they were of Claire, completely ignoring me sitting right there. I tried to bury those feelings during the wedding, but they never stayed buried for long. That night, I drove home exhausted, but oddly relieved it was over. I remember kicking off my shoes, throwing on sweats, and sitting down at my desk just to check emails before bed. That's when I saw it. My banking app wouldn't load right at first, and when it finally did, I froze. My account balance was wiped clean. Every single penny I had worked for, every bit of savings I'd built gone. At first, I thought it had to be fraud, a hacker, a glitch. My heart was hammering. I scrolled through the transactions, frantic, but what I saw made me go perfectly still. The withdrawals weren't random. They were transfers. Transfers made directly into an account with a name I knew far too well, my father's. My throat tightened, my vision blurred. I actually thought I was going to pass out right there at my desk. For what felt like an eternity, I just sat in the glow of my laptop screen, whispering to myself, no, 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 no. When I finally called my dad, my hands were shaking so badly I could barely press the buttons. He picked up on the second ring, his voice calm, almost smug. "James," he said, like he'd been waiting for this call. "What did you do?" I managed to choke out.